Hey everyone, welcome in. This is Dias from Harmonic Forex, and I'm going to do week 42 analysis for you at the moment. So I'll be covering off three types of patterns that's coming up in this week. The first one is the Euro Swiss, which is a bat pattern, and you will see that it's slightly different from the Euro Yen bat pattern that's coming up. And I'll conclude by showing off the dollar yen Gartley pattern. So what I'm trying to show you is that how the different type of patterns can yield different types of risk to reward. So it will be good for you to know this when you're making a trading decision. So let's jump into the charts, and this is what I have on Euro Swiss. So let's just take a look at what's been happening to this pair. It's been in a steady downtrend for the last 2 weeks, but it has reached what I would see as a critical level. Why do I say it's a critical level? If you look at this, if I'm able to draw a line here, you would see that this is the September low. You would see that the September high was here, the October high was here, and now the October low is challenging the September low. And I've always observed this to be a very good support. Even if you just scroll back a little bit, you will see that there's been a lot of buying interest around this zone. And you could see that the wicks here kind of prove that. So I've got a sense that people are going to look to actively buy around this area. So what do I need to confirm this? And that's going to be my bat pattern. So how do we draw a bat pattern? We just use three simple lines. The first one is a Fibonacci retracement. So you would see that the retracement only is up to Fib 3. So that's different from our ideal bat, which is at Fib 5. And then I need to draw another Fibonacci extension and also my Fibonacci expansion lines. And I'm trying to look for confluence around the 886, but since this kind of terminated at a Fib 3, usually you would see the reaction at point X. So you would see that, okay, the market has started to bounce here, but this is still not a buy signal. So the zone that I'm looking for is somewhere around here. But why isn't this a buy signal yet? Because if you look at the current trend, which I've marked with the moving averages here, you would see that it's still sloping downwards. There is a downward channel over here, which the market seems to be moving in for the last couple of weeks. So something like this. So for me to get a buy confirmation, this pair needs to break this channel, or perhaps go up a little bit, get resisted by the channel, come back down, and maybe we need to look for some RSI divergence in the H4. Because of the fact that it's been in that downward trend, you need to see some additional confirmation. But my feel is that this has a very nice pattern here. The markets are oversold. It's got very good support. So this is a potential trade that you can look out for. But at the moment, it's not quite ready yet. Okay, so that is the Fib 3 bat pattern. I'm going to move on to Euro Yen, which is putting up a kind of a more of a typical pattern that we would see. So let me just clear these charts for you first. All right, so what we're looking for is a bat pattern that's kind of terminating at Fib 5. Okay, so you'll see this coming over here, and there was a bit of a reaction. So I'm going to look for the highest point, and let me change this color so that you can see the confluence quite nicely. So we're looking to take the trade around Fib 8. So you can see that it's very easy to draw these three lines, and a really good zone over here that you can see that the market has challenged, and then it's got a bit of a reaction of around 50 pips, so it's moving up nicely. But I'm still once again waiting for a retest, because you would see that from a trend perspective, this pair is still heading downwards. Okay, so you can't deny the fact that if you are to buy here, it's going to be against the trend. So you need to see some additional indicator to tell you that, hey, this market is ready to move up now. All right, so this is the advantage of trading the bat pattern, because you are taking the trade at fib 8. Now I'm going to switch over to the dollar yen, which let's try to analyze the trend first. So I'm going to switch to my trend. All right, so you could see that this pair is still on the uptrend. There's been a long pause here, which might indicate a reversal. The high is around 104.67 and the low is around 102.80. Okay, so what would you do? If you look at the moving averages of the daily, it's still pointing upwards. If you look at the H4, it's ranging, and if you look at H1, well, yeah, it's still being supported, but what I'm seeing here is an opportunity to go long. So remember, the underlying daily trend is upwards. So I'm going to look to see if there is a pattern here. Now, this point has not been completely defined. It's possible that it could break up, but assuming that there is downward movement from here, I could be looking for an opportunity to go long. And you would see that there is a very nice Gartley pattern setting up. So once again, I'll put in my 3 Fibonacci levels here. And you could see that it comes in at around the zone that I'm looking for is around here. So it needs to hit 103.33. And that's when I could look to potentially go long. Now, you would see that the difference here in a Gartley is that we're looking to take the trade around the fib 7. As compared to the euro yen, where we're looking to take it at fib 8. So what does this mean? It means that when you take a bat pattern, your stop loss can be lesser, because it's closer to the point of the X where you're drawing your pattern from. But if you look at your Gartley, you are slightly away from that fib 8 level, because you are transacting it at around the fib 7 level. So for me, I would always love to take bat patterns, and especially the type of bat patterns where you can take it very close to the point X, as in the Euro Swiss. So I'm still very keen on this guy. Just need to see further reaction. If I look into H1, I'm still not seeing any sort of divergence, so we've got to be patient on this. It's been falling for 2 weeks. There's got to be a lot of stabilization here before the market really tells you that this is a turning point and it's going to move up. All right, so 3 pairs to look out for. The rest of the pairs are not really putting up any harmonic patterns. It's been very one-sided, so do be patient. I think once the market stabilizes, we would be able to look for good harmonic patterns. So with that, I'll bring the analysis to a close. Really hope that you enjoyed this, and if you do, please do share this around, and we'll be back next week with our thoughts and commentary for the markets. Thanks a lot and have a good trading week.